first thing first, you gotta grab that comb, man. You wanna analyze the natural growth pattern of your client's hair. So what I'm doing right here is lifting the hair up off the scalp so it's easier for my clippers to glide through. And I'm also analyzing where his whorl is, aka the area on his head where the hair grows in a 360 like pattern. And what you want to do is see where that's at, and you can see right there it's in the top right corner of his crown area. And you don't want to go over that area in the wrong direction, because you can put a patch in your client's head very easily. My next little tip for y'all is to go over the crown area with at least a half size bigger guard versus what you're gonna cut his hair down with all around. You wanna use a bigger guard in the crown area so it prevents you from putting a patch in this area. Because remember, this hair is growing in a 360 pattern. So it's very easy to put a patch in this area. So it's best to use a bigger guard. Now it's time for action. I'm going in with my 1.5 detachable blade on my Super Andy ZR2s. If you're looking for these clippers, it'll be linked in the description below. But you want to make sure you go with the grain. Remember how you establish the growth pattern using that comb. You want to go in that same direction. Right here, I'm gonna give y'all another quick tip on how to establish a guideline before cutting your clippers on. Man, remember I told you use that comb, man. So right here, I'm using the comb to create that separation where I want my first guideline to stop. And I'm gonna connect it on both sides. I'm gonna stop in the back, start on the opposite side, and bring it back and meet both of the guidelines in the back before cutting my clippers on. Y'all stay tuned for that 5, man. Hopefully this is a helpful tip for anybody struggling with guidelines. And because I use the comb, man, I know where to stop with this first guideline I'm setting in. And right here, I got my walls all the way closed, no guard, stopping right where I use the comb, man. Right here, I'm going in with my 5-0 detachable blade to get it completely bald, or as bald as I can get it, without my client bumping up. You know what I'm saying? I can use the shavers on a straight haired person, but I can't use them on no black folks. So I'm going in with my 5-0 detachable blade, and I'm cleaning up the bottom of my fade. Now I'm getting ready to set in my second guideline with the lever all the way open on my walls. And I don't know, for some reason it wasn't cutting in the front right there, man. I gotta double back one time. Watch me double back. There it is, now it's cutting, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever forget to double back, man. But what I'm doing, I'm going up about 1/2 inch, keeping it parallel to the previous guideline. Now I got my lever at halfway, and I'm going up about halfway into this guideline we just set in. I'm not going all the way up to the top of this guideline. I'm creating that transition in between the two guidelines that I've already set in. So you only need to go up halfway through that. You ain't gotta go all the way up to the top, you know what I'm saying? Now I got my lever at all the way closed using them corners, man. And if for y'all that's new to my channel, what I mean by using them corners, man, is using the corner of the blade, like the last 2 or 3 teeth of it, just to spread out any dark areas in my fade. So get used to using them corners, man. Now I done threw the number 1 guard on there, going up about a whole inch higher than the previous guideline, giving myself some space, man. You gon' need that, you know what I'm saying? Give yourself some room to fade, man. You gon' need that. Now I got the number 1 guard closed all the way up, coming up halfway through that guideline, just like I've been doing this whole time. You always want to come up halfway through where you just were with the open lever, you know what I'm saying, to create that transition in between your fade. detail time, my boy. So I'm going in with the 1.5 guard all the way closed. I'm not really setting in the guideline. I'm creating that transition from the hair on top to the fade. So I'm making the fade blend into the hairline on top. Now I got that 0.5 guard on there doing some detail work still, you know what I'm saying, still. And I'm aiming at that area right underneath where I was with the number 1 guard closed. Now for anything my 0.5 guard missed, I got my masters now all the way in the open position. Using them corners, man, you know what I'm saying, to thin out any dark areas or spread out any dark areas I still see in my fade. Still putting my boy in the game. I took the number 1 guard and I got in the open position. I'm aiming at that area right at the top of the fade to thin out some of those dark areas with my number 1 guard open. Now it's time to start prepping the hairline. I got the number 1 guard and I'm about to close it up just to knock down the hair just a tad bit shorter than the rest of the hair length on top. Just a tad bit, man. That's all you need, just a tad bit. And the reason for doing this is because you don't want no overhanging hairs that's gonna come over the top of his hairline. You want that hairline to be smooth, you know what I'm saying? Before you cut them trimmers on, you want everything, you know what I'm saying, laid in place. Now I'm about to clean the hairline off because you don't want nothing in the way of them trimmers but hair. You know what I'm saying? You gotta clean it off a little bit. Before adding enhancements, which is what I'm gonna do at the end of this video, y'all gotta set in a strong foundation with the natural hairline. So as you can see, every time I hit the hairline with the trimmers, I grab my brush and I brush the hair back down to see what hairs are still overhanging over that hairline. You know what I'm saying? You want to hit it and make the hairline as strong as possible. And when the enhancements wear off, you still want that hairline to be nice and sharp. Is what I'm trying to say. So y'all pay attention to how I'm hitting the hairline and brushing, you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned for this fire. Now I'm taking my comb and I'm finna get the hair up out the way, man. You wanna go against the grain, lift the hair up off the scalp, get it up out the way, man. Before you apply semi-permanent enhancement, because you want the enhancements to get on the scalp so it'll last a lot longer. When you all said and done with applying the semi-permanent enhancement, what you want to do is brush everything back in place, pull your trimmers back out and hit that line up one more time, one more again, you know what I'm saying? One more again for the win. last but not least, you want to hit them with that razor after everything's said and done. Hit them with that razor, man, to finish off this haircut, man. Finish out that fire. You know what I'm saying? If y'all not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Please like, comment. You know what I'm saying? Do anything to help my channel grow, man. MikeWillBlendIt. I'm out. Y'all stay blessed.